I grew up in Queens, New York. Actually, if you look it up, I think it's probably the most diverse county in the world. Don't quote me, but quote me. Anybody who has met me would say that I am a city girl, right? But there is some duality, I guess, in me, some sort of hybrid, because although I feel like a city person, I appreciate things about the country so much. I appreciate nature. I love looking out and seeing trees. I love animals. I love green. I love food, you know, that is organic and local and real. So I would say Jen Crespo is a city girl, but really, really loves the country. I had some exposure when I was a young person, I will say. And I guess I was too young and it was too infrequent for it to stick with me anyway. I'm not saying that's the case with anyone. But for me, being the rebellious, crazy little child that I was, it didn't stick. So what happened was, years later, I got a knock at the door in my early 20s. I was in college at the time, and I accepted a Bible study. Long story short, I accepted a Bible study. Again, I was in my early 20s, and in college I was super distracted. So I did study for a while, but again, it didn't stick. So years pass. I was in Manhattan on my way to work, and there was a brother in the train station, and he was doing street witnessing, not public witnessing because we didn't have it at the time. And I took a magazine. I brought it home. I read it. I mean, to this day, if you ask me what was in the magazine, I couldn't tell you. I don't remember. I don't know that if it was necessarily a certain point that stood out to me at the time, but it was more like my responsibility to God that resonated with me. That I was living, I felt at the time rather selfishly, working, living for the weekend, and I kind of felt disgusted with myself in that sense, where I felt I was at the point in my life in my mid-20s where I felt like I wanted to do something that had nothing to do with myself. And at that time I was thinking about joining the Peace Corps and doing different sort of volunteer work. And when I got that magazine, I said to myself, I'm gonna go into this volunteer mode and I'm going to do nothing. You know, it's really just gonna be a drop in the bucket. So I decided at that point that I was not going to waste my time and that I would put my efforts into helping Jehovah God rather than helping whatever Greenpeace or whatever organization that I felt at the time I could be of service to. So I switched gears, and I did it pretty quickly. What do I love about the truth? Just that it is the truth. So John 8:32 says that the truth will set you free. Those are like my two favorite words, truth and freedom. Truth equals freedom. I've always had such a distaste for things that were fake. It sounds so funny, but just on a personal level, I don't like masks and costumes and things of that sort. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Totally not judging. Just for me, I've always had a distaste for things that are covered. And when I learned that there is a truth, that to me was the door to freedom. And freedom has always been super important to me.